Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game Over Vancouver. My name is Kaja Antic. I'm here with Alex Rickman of Chronicles. We are here to talk about the Canucks losing 3-2 to the Vegas Golden Knights tonight at home. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. It was a time, but before we get into any of that, just a reminder to shift into hyperdrive and get ready to have some fun with your news source for all the biggest stories in hockey, bringing a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecois flavor. Hyperdrive Hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, big stories, pop culture, and a damn fun atmosphere that will drive debate, make you think, and more. Join Max Vanucci, Daphne Malbuff, and Kevin Laramie when the playoffs return for your fill on the hockey world. Watch on YouTube on the Game Over Network channel or subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon. Head to our website, thegameovernetwork.com, for more. All right. So, Alex, in 3 words, describe that Canucks game.
That was bad.
On a scale, okay. Was it more or less entertaining than the Japanese Grand Prix?
I'm gonna say the Japanese Grand Prix was more entertaining. Partly because I was watching in a bar with one of my friends and just having a good time with what was going on around the Japanese Grand Prix, so I was kind of not focused on the race. This when I was watching on my couch at home, meaning I had to pay attention to the hockey that the Vancouver Canucks were playing.
So
Good
it
Lord.
was worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Uh,
The only good part about the Japanese Grand Prix was McLaren didn't win it.
Top of the standings.
Okay, whatever. Go make some more fruit rules. Anyway, the Vancouver Canucks start the scoring off with Niels Höglander, who returns to the lineup, and overall I thought he had a pretty solid game tonight. The Hog is back, and he scores. I was gonna say something else, but I'm like, that's probably not. Anyway, Höglander gets his 7th of the year. Off of Pia Suter and Brock Besser, off of a bit of a scramble kind of in front of the net. That's how the Canucks get both goals against the Knights tonight. What did you think of Niels Höglander for the goal and then just him overall tonight?
Yeah, like the goal, that's just kind of the goal you need him to be scoring. I think he's just a player with a high motor, gets to the front of the net to get on those scrambled pucks. Overall, again, I really liked his game. I think first half of the year for him was definitely rough, but of late, before he was hurt, and now with this game, he's showing a lot more of what he can be and what I think we can hope for in the future with Niels Höglander. Can get more into that later in the show, but like I was quite happy with what I saw.
All right. Yeah, Niels Höglander, he had 16 minutes and 20 seconds of ice time tonight. So, he's not Rick Tockett's absolute enemy anymore. Good news. Bad news though. Nicknamed Barbie, I think. Ivan Barbashev gets his 21st of the year for the Vegas Golden Knights to tie it, and then 5 minutes or so later, yep, I can do math. Nicholas Waugh. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones that's Waugh and not Roy.
We're saying Wa on the broadcast,
We're
so
saying Waugh. Okay, cool.
if you're wrong, so are Sportsnet.
Assisted by Canucks legend Tanner Pearson, and Keegan Colasar. Um, it makes it 2-1 Vegas, and, run-of-the-mill course. The Canucks got one more goal than they normally do against Vegas, though, because in the second period, Aatu Ratu, who, wow, he's really stepped up here. The Score app that I use to track what the live scores are of the games doesn't understand umlauts, so they spell his name wrong. But Aatu Ratu, he's been a very good surprise. Also, I just thought that goal, I could understand why they were challenging it, but come on, man. I think Aatu Ratu, he's had a very good run of form. I think across the board in the NHL this year, I'm not gonna lie. Thoughts?
I liked what we saw from her earlier in the year, like defensively responsible two-way game, plays a hard style, but just of late the offense is starting to show really, and I think this is a guy who I would really like to see on the NHL roster next year, maybe even as somewhere in your middle six. I like his. We've talked about this on the Chronicles podcast. Go check that out on Spotify and YouTube. Subtle plug. Um, but we've talked about this before. He's like starting to really show something, and I wonder if he's maybe a 3C next year. Someone who you could put as your third line center. His faceoffs are probably the best
Beautiful.
on the team at the moment. Let's see what this kid can do. Like, we gave up a lot to get him, or yeah, he was part of a big deal.
He's the only part of that deal that is still with us, right? Yeah, because we got the
The only
first.
directly, yeah.
We got the first that we traded for Hronek, and then Beauvillier went to like 5 more teams after us. So, like, yeah, Asuratu. From Kiefer Sherwood gets his 20th assist of the year off of that goal. Philip Hronek also gets his 25th, but let's not talk about him. It's a bit. I think. After that goal, though, the Canucks really don't do much. They showed the energy in the first, which always is dangerous when you're on a back-to-back. And I was saying last night that I was like, you know what? Vegas has to fly from Calgary. They play the later slot. We have an afternoon game, and then we have an evening game after the next day. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe we'll be fine. We were not fine. The Canucks shot total 12 in the first compared to Vegas's 10. Second, Vegas outshot them 13-7. And in the third period, where Vegas is second in goals only to the Washington Capitals, who we will be talking about later, only to them, Vegas had 12 shots to Vancouver's 2. That's, like, I understand it's a tie game, but you can't be playing Southgate ball at this time. You have to, like, put effort in order to get that marker, which Vegas does with Victor Olofsson, with 16:46 into the third, so almost 3 minutes left. Just, they let it get away from them in the third.
Yeah, like they just like they fell asleep at the wheel there. Really, just nothing was clicking anymore. It just felt like the effort level was not there. Like you were saying, it felt like they were gassed after the back-to-back, which Vegas also logically should have been more gassed, but just wasn't working that way. And just by the end of the game, they were pretty much just doing cardio.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. They were just skating around. Um, Kevin Lankinen got second star of the night. I mean, he did stop 30. Oh, I'm bad at math. 32 of 35 shots. Yeah, I mean,
I thought he had a good game.
he had a good game. I don't know. I'm like
Second star is a little
the other
much, but
the
like
other ones were Victor Olofsson, who gets the game winner late
yeah.
for the Golden Knights, and third star was William Karlsson, who got an assist, I believe, on that. Yeah, on the game winner.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I would have hoped that Höglander, he comes back, has a great game, comes back from injury. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I can't control the NHL. Overall, it was just a run-of-the-mill NHL game in April. The Canucks fighting for their lives, Vegas fighting to keep the Los Angeles Edmonton Oilers legend growing. I really don't know how to fix this Canucks team. I think the most excited I was throughout this game was when they announced on the broadcast that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. re-signed with the Blue Jays after what feels like forever. Um, I was like, I had my phone face down because I was like getting everything for the stream set up, and I'm like sitting there, and then I just hear, oh yes, got some Blue Jays news. They say Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And I'm like, what? What, is he injured? Like, what's going on? No, he signed a $500 million contract for 14 years. Which, cool. They did something with him finally. This is not hockey related. I'm just like, as a Blue Jays fan, I'm like, we can stop talking about this.
I'm a Yankees fan, and I'm like, great, the Blue Jays broadcast can stop talking about this.
You have your issues already. You have your issues to worry
I
about.
have my own. I just would like Sportsnet to move on to something new.
Well, yes, but they're also the only Canadian team. Oh yeah, Sportsnet should move. I get it. It's like the Elias Pettersson conversation.
Yes, exactly. Like, it's okay. This is big news. It's happened. Let's move along.
Yeah, they kept mentioning JT Miller on the broadcast tonight, and I was like, please stop. Like, he's gone. He's been gone for months. Like, this is when your friend keeps wanting to text her ex after, like, they've been broken up for a long time. Like, you, honey, put it away. We don't need to mention him anymore. Anyway, I don't know why that's what I likened it to, but you get it. You get it. Like, it's in the past. What else is in the past? The Canucks playoff hopes. Because the standings as they are right now, the silver lining of today, Boston's officially eliminated from the playoffs. So after years... Actually, when did they not make the playoffs last? Because I feel like it was...
I feel like it's been a long time.
Playoffs history. I am looking it up. Copy VR checking. They last missed the playoffs in 2016. So...
10 years.
10 years. They missed in 2015, 2016. Finally, they are gone. So that's like the silver lining on the night. Otherwise, everything else sucked. How is Utah not eliminated yet? They're a point behind us. The Canucks have 83 points to get to where the Minnesota Wild are, because they also won in overtime today. Vancouver has 83 points with 5 games remaining. And they would need, I am not good at math, 8 points. They would need to win 4 of their last 5 and also have Calgary do nothing and Minnesota do nothing. Thoughts?
I mean, like, I really want to have a sliver of positivity here. I really do. It has never been more over. It's done. We're done. It's over.
I don't know what's worse, this season, the way it went with and how it's ending like this, like on a whimper, or the freaking first season with Bruce when we were like fighting for a playoff spot until Adam Gaudette scored a shootout winner. Like, that's... I don't know which one's worse. I feel like objectively this one, because like we were so good last season.
Yeah.
And
like even throughout lots of this season, it felt like we were good enough to at least limp into a playoff spot.
exactly. Like
Like I remember on my first stream I did with you, it was the day of the JT Miller and Marcus Pettersson trade. The Marcus Pettersson trade broke while we were on air, and I remember declaratively saying after that we were a playoff team. I would like to hereby apologize for that statement. This is all my fault. Past Alex jinxed us.
so the Canucks, when they don't make the playoffs, it's not Rick Tocchet's fault, it's not management's fault, it's not JT Miller's fault, it's not Elias Pettersson's fault. It is Alex Rickman's fault. Join me on the couch, I bake cookies. Oh yeah. My dear friend Billy eliminated as a Predators fan. So, you weren't the first eliminated. Anyway, yeah, what's insane is the East is, like, less competitive than the West right now for spots. Well, I mean, not less competitive, but if the Canucks were had the same amount of points in the East conference right now, they'd be like 2 points back of the wild card spot, with Montreal right ahead of them. So, yeah, that's 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 a time. Um, I'm trying to think of what else to say about that, but I don't know. It is over. I feel like it's it's sad, but I don't know. I try to be optimistic this season, which is not something I'm good at. I've discovered, because this team, there just wasn't a lot to be positive about this year. Um, like the injuries, the drama, the fact that Rick Tocchet is somehow still an NHL coach, like so much went wrong for the Canucks, and it's just so disappointing, honestly. But like, I'm not mad.
Hard
I'm
to,
just
because
disappointed.
I myself tend to be the last one on or off a specific bandwagon. So like within last season, it took me a while before I believed that team was going to be legitimate. Like we were a month into the season looking good, and I was like, hold on, when's it going to break?
Yeah.
And then I eventually buy in. And then I go into this season bought in still from last season, ready to go, and this is what we get.
Oh,
This is just the life of Vancouver sports.
I think you need to just have like the worst idea imaginable about this team, and then they'll do insanely good. That's how we get a cup. You need to hate this team.
Pretty much. Like the moment I stop believing anything good is going to happen into a given season, that's the moment we suddenly have a good year. And I go into the next year off of the high of that year, and it just all the wheels come off the bus.
It's kind of like the opposite of manifestation.
Yeah.
You have like negative energy manifestation, it sounds like.
I am a curse to this team.
I think this team is a curse to all of us, let's be real here. Like if you were a Canucks fan, if you became a Canucks fan, you probably did not do it by choice.
No, my mom has apologized for giving birth to me in Vancouver before. After
I've
games, just where I'm just sitting around the house seething, she just goes, "I'm so sorry for birthing you in Vancouver."
Yeah, my parents met watching the 94 finals. I had no choice. Like, and now I'm here doing this. Um Kaya, be a nihilist like me or believe Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. You know what's insane? Why were they playing the Drew McIntyre music during the Canucks game? I swear they were playing the Drew McIntyre music. He's a wrestler. He's Scottish. They played his entrance music. I swear it was his. Anyway, I've been too busy with finals to watch any wrestling recently, so I'm like so behind. But John Cena sucks. Moving forward, yeah, the Vancouver Canucks lose 3-2 to the Vegas Golden Knights. They are not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but they are morally and ethically and physically probably eliminated as well. They fly to Dallas tomorrow, and yeah, it's gonna go out with less of a pop, let's say. Unfortunately.
Draft content coming on Canucks Chronicles very soon.
Oh god, I'm going to crash out. I'm like,
Game.
yeah, I'm predicting it. Let me see. Before any final thoughts on the game before we talk about next season?
Um, no,
No.
I
Yeah.
really want. It's not necessarily great broadcasting to not have thoughts, but like,
I don't think the team had
wow,
thoughts. So, like
yeah, that's yeah.
anyway, all right. Before we get into that though, I need to format this better. Looking for ways to help an upstart media company employing over 30 young journalists and analysts across Canada? If you have a few spare bucks kicking around, you better head to our Patreon page at patreon.com/thegameovernetwork. There you'll find multiple tiers featuring different rewards and goodies for helping us grow. There's extra access, exclusive looks behind the scenes, Discord benefits, merch discounts, opportunities to give us feedback, and you can join us for special shows live where you can interact with hosts as we launch more ways to improve your experience. If you're not able to spare a few dollars, we have a free tier available so you don't miss out. If you really want to help us, make sure to click like and subscribe on YouTube, rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast app, and share our work on your social media of choice. That's patreon.com/thegameovernetwork. Okay, close. All right, so next season, I'm totally not taking this from the first intermission from the Canucks broadcast. Players we want to see take a bigger stride next season. I want I don't know. I need a Jonathan Lekkerimeki 20-goal season. That's gonna be my bold prediction. Overall, I hope that Dakota Joshua has a better year for next season.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think he will. Like, obviously, he didn't get an off season because of the cancer diagnosis. That's completely. He's having what I would call the most justifiable down year in NHL history.
Yeah.
Like, even then, to call what he's doing a down year is kind of a. I think it's a little heavy-handed to even call it a down year because, like, the offense has not necessarily been there. He's playing good hockey. Like, if you give it the eye test, he looks the way Dakota Joshua should be looking. It's just the pucks aren't going in the net as much as. Words are hard sometimes. As often as they should be. Like, next season, once he's got a full off season, I'm very confident he'll figure it out and get things back on track.
Yes, I can't wait. And also who I think is going to have a really good year next year, Brock Besser, because I'm willing it into existence that he will be a Canuck. If the Blue Jays can finally sign Vladdy, we are getting Brock Besser. Please. Or Mitch Marner. I'm kidding. Who is your bold prediction and who is your kind of just general, yeah, they're going to do better next year?
I kind of more general, they're going to do better. I'm going to go with Nils Höglander. Again, I think we've seen it second half of this year. We saw what he did throughout last season. I think he's going to come in more confident off of the back half of this year versus coming off of a bit of a rough postseason run last year. I think the coaches, assuming they're still here, depending on who they may be next year, are going to have a little bit more faith in him. And he's just like such a buzzsaw when he's on his game that it's impossible not to give him minutes. I think he's going to have good breakout. As for a little bit more of a prize option, like you kind of said, I don't know if Atu Ratu necessarily counts as the prize. Again, I already talked about him earlier in the show, so I'm going to try to talk about someone else. I'm going to go maybe with Jake DeBrusk, just seeing more consistency out of him. Because, like, I've just prefaced this by saying I like Jake DeBrusk a lot. I think he's a good player. I think you need more consistent offense from him, and we knew this when we signed him, that he's not necessarily the most consistent player in the world. But I think if you can, one, give him actually consistent line mates, that would be a big help. And I think just having another year to learn this organization, learn the city, learn how to play with his teammates is going to be a big help. And I think maybe next year can be the year he finally eclipses 30 goals.
Good prediction.
I'm saying maybe because this is the Canucks, and if I predict it, this means he's probably going to score 10. I'm so sorry to Jake DeBrusk for predicting you're going to do well.
Or he scores 50. Or he scores 800 and how many career goals does
895? Oh, yeah, right. Career. Yeah, right.
Jake DeBrusk. Okay, so he has 162 goals. 895 minus 162. He has to score 734 goals next year. And I think he's going to do it.
Easy money.
Easy money. Yeah. How much does he get paid per year? It's 7 mil, right?
7 years he signed or 5 years he signed?
Oh god. 7 years he signed.
No. 5 something.
Jake DeBrusk contract.
I don't know.
I am looking it up.
I'm a communication student. I don't do numbers.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Brother. 5.5.
I kind of forgot. I'm really sleep deprived right now.
Okay, 5500000. I did the math wrong. 5500000
This is why
divided
we do
by,
communications, folks.
yep, 744. Or no, 734. That was the number I said. He would be getting pretty much $7,500 per goal. If he scored 700. None of this makes sense. I have no idea why I went on this tangent. Good night. The mini school playoff
the
chances
game we
are
just
dead.
watched.
Yeah. Mini school playoff chances are dead. Shows the difference between a perennial contender and how far the Canucks are from being in the same convo as the heavyweights. Yeah. You know what? No, tonight is a good vibes night. So we're a contender if we have the power of friendship, and this year we just did not have that power of friendship. Next year, we will have the power of friendship. That's my case for next season.
We have a defense at least now. We didn't going into this season. Now we don't have to fix the defense and the forward core. We only have to fix the forward core. The only problem is we have to fix the forward core.
We didn't have a defense for like a decade. Like,
okay, we like had a defense for a season.
mm-hmm.
To the second round, ceased to have a defense until like end of January.
Yep. I'm trying to think. I was like, when was the last time? I mean, last year, yeah, I guess we had defense, but we also had Ian Cole.
It's good in the regular season, though.
Yeah, fair. We also had Nikita Zadorov in the regular season.
But we also had him in the playoffs.
Him
and Ian Cole just Freaky Friday'd.
Honestly, maybe. Positive they have all summer to be friends and hang out together. Exactly. They need bonding. They need, we need Canucks Love Island. Canucks Big Brother. I got the shows mixed up. My bad. All reality shows are the same, okay? I don't watch reality TV. Like, the most drama I watch is Drive to Survive, and that's half fake anyway, so I don't even watch that anymore. What am I talking about? The Canucks need to make friendship bracelets, and they all need to bake a cake together, like when they were younger, and be happy. I butchered that quote so bad, but please tell me somebody gets the reference.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Me neither. I fear I'm losing the room. It's a quote from Mean Girls.
I explained why I don't recognize it.
I just realized I'm like, it's like you're probably too young for that. I'm just joking.
We're the same age.
I'm older than you by like a year. Okay. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think. Have we established this?
Why are we talking about this on air?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just feel old constantly because there are Canucks younger than me.
Same.
So yeah.
My back hurts.
Oh, my back hurts. Everything hurts. Yeah. Jake DeBrusk, he's hit 27 goals twice. Okay. I see the vision. He's a -16 this year.
Good lord. Okay, sorry, I was checking this the other day, where I'm taking this off topic once again. I was checking the NHL Green Jacket standings, and I think there was a Canuck in the top 5 as of a few days ago.
Canucks Green Jacket standings?
Are you not familiar with the Green Jacket?
It's
an
a golf
award
thing.
for worst plus minus in the league.
And that's why it's a golf? Okay.
That's why it's called the Green Jacket. I think...
Wait, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, you can just check like NHL.com plus minus and sort by worst to best.
Okay.
And whoever has the worst plus minus in a given season is given the Green Jacket.
Oh, like physically or?
No, not it's like, you know,
like a joke. Okay, cool.
It's like how the team that comes last in MLS wins the wooden spoon. They don't actually get a wooden spoon, but you also
I've never heard
that
that either.
What?
Okay, the worst plus minus is Mason Lohrei for the Boston Bruins. Oof. Okay, I don't see a Canuck here.
Okay.
We're good. Yeah, the I guess highest Canuck is Brock Besser at number 20 with minus 26.
Okay.
Um, but above him is Mason Lohrei, Tyler Bertuzzi, Connor Bedard, Barclay Goodrow, Rasmus Anderson, Macklin Celebrini, Steven Stamkos, Kirby Dach, Luke Cunnin, Jamie Drysdale, Eric Carlson, Noel Achari, Mario Ferraro, Casey Middlestat, Philip Kurashev, Ty Dellandrea, Roman Yossi, Jonathan Marchessault, and Michael Bunting. And also one place behind Brock Besser, Evgeny Malkin. So he's in good company. There are like at least a few cups in there. Like Marchessault. Who else has won a cup? I was about to say Carlson, but no. Stamkos has 2.
Said Malkin's right behind him.
Malkin's right behind him. Right after that is Ryan O'Reilly, and he has like 6. Then Seth Jones. I know. Seth Jones, then Sidney Crosby. Like, oh god. I didn't. Oh, Mika Zibanejad's on here. I need to stop scrolling.
Start talking about the Canucks again.
For my mental health, I need to stop scrolling. Okay. There's only one Canuck on this list, and it is Brock Besser, which doesn't exactly help my case, but he should be re-signed. Yeah. It'd be really funny if Connor Bedard got rejected. No, I was just like, the Masters are this weekend, are they not? Or something like that. I was like, I didn't know there was a crossover, because I was like, JC Miller tried to qualify for the US Open. That's the only golf.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was like a side quest and a half.
No, Canucks will be golfing in a week anyway, so it makes sense to talk about this.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm gonna go to their favorite golf course in Surrey, of all places. It's where the Canucks golf course is.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I grew up like right near it, and I was just like, I just remember seeing it on their social media at one point. I was like, I know that place. I've sped past there many times. The road's labeled a 60. It's not a 60, let's be real. Next season, let's go teams now. Who do you think is going to be the most shockingly bad team and the most shockingly good team?
Ooh. That's an interesting one. I'm pulling up the standings quickly just so I can jog my memory. I got woken up at 2:30 in the morning by a fire alarm and a distinct lack of fire.
What the heck?
The fire alarm in my house just malfunctioned.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, no, fun. I know, right? Anyway, bad, I'm going to go with... I'm gonna choose to be a hater and just go with the Toronto Maple Leafs because I don't like them.
As the shockingly bad pick?
Honestly, like, it feels like one of these years they're just gonna completely collapse. It feels like they're being held together by a couple players. And if something goes wrong there, the collapse will happen.
So they're the Canucks.
They might be losing. Canucks, if they were... Instead of being entirely reliant on Quinn Hughes, they were reliant on a couple guys, and they were all forwards.
Hey, Quinn Hughes could have played center.
Quinn Hughes is basically 2 players, yeah. Shockingly good. That's a hard question.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I'm just a hater, so, like, I'm, like... There's so many teams that I'm like, I could see you do a push, but I don't want to see it.
On the one hand, I think because we've talked enough smack about Boston that they might just come back out of spite.
No.
But also, logic says absolutely not because they're just not good at hockey anymore.
They are evil and should be punished justly.
Okay, you know what I'm going to say?
Okay.
I'm going to say, because they made of, I think, the most necessary coaching decisions in the NHL recently, I'm going to say the Philadelphia Flyers.
You took my pick! But yes. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
They need to regain some of their core. Obviously, they sold off a few of their main players, Scott Lawton, and, like, half their franchise faces, too. Calgary, of all teams, that was a weird trade. Yeah, that's a good pick, though. I was just thinking, I was like, yeah, Philly. They got rid of, the man who should not be an NHL coach, even more than Rick Tocchet shouldn't be an NHL coach anymore. And if that's for me, I'm saying something. I oof. Just Incredible says Montreal making playoffs, and they have Calgary's first round pick this year, likely top 15. Yeah. Montreal is cooking, and I'm a little afraid of them, but honestly, I
Yeah.
love the vibes so much of Habs fans. Like, they're just absolutely hilarious, so I'm just, I'm fine with it.
I was actually considering saying Montreal for a second before I said Philly, and I decided they are currently in a playoff spot, so I don't necessarily want to say them as like the team that comes out of nowhere. But no, I do definitely have a good vibe around Montreal going forward.
Okay. I like that. I'm gonna say shockingly bad. Oh. It's a tie for me. Okay? It's a tie between the LA Kings because I just want
Oh,
to.
that's good.
I kind of want to see them fall off, and I've been waiting for this for
That's a good
years.
choice. That's a good
Like,
choice.
please. My other choice for being bad, Washington Capitals.
Oh,
Because we'll get into it a bit, but next year's Ovi's last year of his contract, now that you know what happened today, is he going to play that next year of his contract?
yeah.
Will they? Then they have a lot of turnover in their players. I'm not entirely sure what their cap situation is for next season. But yeah, that's why I'm like, this year was like a once. This is a flash in the pan. I say that wearing a Capital jersey right now, so I feel like I'm a little like, what is happening? Shockingly good. Just for the novelty, I'm saying Buffalo. Don't laugh. It can happen.
I'm really trying not to laugh.
It can happen. Please, guys. When Buffalo last made the playoffs, Ovechkin only had 300 career goals. Or
Good lords.
301 or something like that.
1970 NHL expansion was a factory of sadness.
Oh yeah, no first overall, actually for us, but no first overall picks. But yeah, no cup, but it's not the longest cup drought. So there you have it. I could I'm just like, there's so
I
many
like the LA
teams.
pick.
LA
It
pick.
feels like they've been kind of felt for a few years like they were going to have a huge breakout. Then nothing happened. They have just had repeated first round losses to the Oilers. I think, yeah, if the cycle continues and they lose another first round series to the Oilers, then I think the levee might break if that happens, and they might start to fall apart.
Okay. And another team that I think might do okay next year, potentially wildcard team, Anaheim.
Yeah, I'm
gonna go on a limb, also say San Jose, but I know that's a bit further out.
I really wanted to say San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like the vibes are incredible.
Yeah.
But they need a little bit more time to marinate here.
Yeah. You know what? As long as Chicago is near the bottom consistently, like I'm fine with it. And I was actually gonna say Detroit as the shock comeback ones, but I think they still have Patrick Kane, so I'm gonna say no on that one. And also like the Detroit Red Wings, they had their time. You know, they were good. They were really good when I was growing up, and I'm like, it's okay. Edmonton and LA are meant for each other, literally. Like enemies to lovers, except they're always enemies. Slow burn, 250k words. Trying to think of other AO3 tags. And Nashville will be back. Good point. I could see it happening.
Like, it does feel like the parts are definitely there for something to go right.
It was kind of like, I feel like it was growing pains this year. Like, you know how Yuki Tsunoda went into the Red Bull and only got P12 at a track he does very well? That's what I kind of felt like was this entire National Predators season. They really had no idea. They were like trying to figure out how to work all these new pieces. Um, and they haven't quite figured it out yet, but next season I think they'll make a comeback. Um, we will see though. And one last question before we talk about the man of the hour. Um, who do you think is going to be the biggest blockbuster trade if we have one next season? It could be from anywhere from the 2025 draft up until like the trade deadline next year. Just throw out a name.
Oh god, this is a problem because I have no idea who's like a free agent or anything.
It doesn't matter. It could
But
be. It does matter,
um
but like
uh I don't
is
know why this
sorry. I'm like Mitch Marner is a yeah, he's a UFA after this season.
UFA.
Okay. Do, 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 do. Contract season.
Might has gone entirely blank right now of every player in NHL history. Some reason my brain is telling me to say John Gibson finally gets traded, but that doesn't. I
Connor
don't know. I feel like
Connor
Connor Bedard
Bedard
is
to the
freed from the shackles
Rangers.
of Chicago.
Yeah, I like that choice. I'm like looking at the UFAs for 25, 26. There's a lot of them. Wow. Okay.
I might not put this up.
Sam Lafferty,
Legend.
Canucks legend. Vladimir Tarasenko. Um, Shane Pinto's RFA. Uh, like looking at other names that like Radko Gudas, Patrick Laine. That could be an interesting one.
Good.
Alex Tuck for the Sabres. Mark Edward Vlasic, but he's old. Connor Bedard to the Rangers. It's the NHL Luka trade.
It's actually an interesting one now that you mention it, because I know there were some teams interested in him at the deadline this year, but Buffalo obviously didn't end up doing anything.
Alex Tuck?
The Canucks supposedly being one of them.
Oh, okay.
So
Um,
why not? Let's say Alex Tuck comes to Vancouver.
Eric Holla. Kyle Connor is a UFA next year. That could be a big one if he's not re-signed there in Winnipeg. Nathan Walker, my favorite Aussie. Philip Broberg could be claimed again. Oh, actually, no. I said I'm sorry, Nicole Piastri. Apologies for that one. John Carlson, UFA. These two being next. Okay, Connor Garland. Evgeny Malkin is UFA. Adam Fantilli is an RFA. Lane Hudson is an RFA. Marty Natchez is a UFA. Erica Branson, Jordan Eberle, Yegor Chinnikov, Kevin Hayes, Alexander Wenberg, Adrian Kempe.
Oh yeah.
So if the sorry,
quick comment on Adrian Kempe. I believe he puts bananas on tacos. There's a player on the LA Kings who does that. I'm pretty sure it's Kempe. If I have just accused Kempe of it, it's someone else. I apologize very much to the Kempe family.
Taco. Okay.
But like, where do you come up with that?
Oh no, it is him. Oh god.
Kempe, okay.
Yeah. W. That's so. Oh my lord. Oh, I'm looking at it. I wanted to not look at it, but that's yeah, it is him. It looks like he put it with lettuce and cheese and sour cream. That's I that's a culinary crime. Wow. I um Shea Weber's a UFA.
I guess they're gonna trade for him.
Logan
Unless
Cooley
they've already done
RFA.
that.
Ian Cole UFA.
Max Legend.
Rasmus Anderson. Kirill Kaprizov.
Ooh.
Um Nick Blankenberg, Billy Heinola, Jamie Drysdale, Matt Dumba, Illy Tolvanen. I'm still
Nick
there's
Blankenberg's biggest fan, Canucks Chronicles contributor JC Clemens.
Adam Henrique, Mike Matheson,
Nope, 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 nope.
Jake Wallman. Oh my god, wait. Adrian Kempe and Anze Kopitar are both UFAs next year.
Ooh.
There's gonna be a big LA trade. We're going to see LA flop.
Okay.
Predicting it right now.
They come out of the gate slow at all. Everything is.
Wait, is he re-signed for the next year? Connor McDavid's a UFA. It's not gonna happen, but it'd be really funny if it did.
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. At no point did either of us say it was gonna happen.
No.
But it would be really funny.
It'd be really funny. Nick Foligno. Cole Perfetti is an RFA? Looks like it. He's pretty good. But yeah, that's a few names that I thought were a recognition. But LA, oh, they're up for the task. That's Adrian Kempe and Anze Kopitar. It's your captain who's 37 years old and BFFs with the McLaren Racing CEO. Or the guy who is like your leading point scorer for many years and also puts bananas on tacos. Like, which I discovered tonight, so thank you for enlightening me on that. Anyway, before we get into the next little bit here, I forgot Danson Heinen was a Canuck this year.
Legend.
Canucks legend Danson Heinen. If you're enjoying the show so far, you probably want more of this, right? Well, make sure you hit the like button on this video, click subscribe on our channel, and make sure you check the notification bell so you're alerted when we go live. If you're listening to our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating or even write a positive review. If you really like us, make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can find the Game Over Network on Blue Sky at GameOverNetwork.com, on TikTok and Twitter at GameOverNHL, on Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn at Game Over Network. And you can also find Alex and I on the Canucks Chronicles Chroncast. And where else can they find you?
They can find Canucks Chronicles at Canucks Chronicles on Instagram and Blue Sky. You can find my personal at Alex_Rick03 on Instagram. I really need to memorize that Blue Sky because there have been multiple streams and podcasts in a row where I have forgotten it. I don't really use it all that much. You can also check out my writing with, if you're a soccer fan, Altitude FC in League One BC. First match of the season was today. Check out my article on that. It should be up tomorrow.
They won, right? Did they win?
Women won, men lost.
Okay, cool. I vaguely remember seeing an Altitude final. That might not have been an Altitude post. Who did the Altitude play?
Today.
The women's team.
Rise.
Okay, yeah, I saw that one.
Okay, a quick comment on League One BC problems. Rise are still wearing Whitecaps jerseys, and it gets really confusing when you're watching the game because they were Rise last year, or Whitecaps last. It's confusing me still. You're still trying to make the adjustment in your head to call them Rise when you're writing an article about this or something, but you've just watched them playing Whitecaps jerseys. Sorry.
There's just a lot
keep
going
taking
on.
this off topic.
All good. No, I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, it's the Vancouver Rise, and then I'm like, they're in Caps kits.
It's the Rise Caps.
Rise kit. I guess mountains rise over a period of many million years. Anyway, you can find me anywhere at Kaime. that's basically it. You can also find us at GameOverNetwork.com, where you can sign up for our upcoming newsletter. Okay. Ovechkin, Alex Ovechkin. He was drafted in 2004, did not play until 2005. Shout out, you know, NHL labor rights. Good thing to have, I think. Um, Alexander Ovechkin. I didn't think he was gonna get the record this year. I will be honest. I was like, yeah, he's gonna play out this contract, and that's when he'll get it in 25-26, and then he'll be done in the NHL. But no, he decided to go on an absolute tear this year, breaks his leg halfway through it, and then still gets to 894, a game before Gretzky did, and then tonight in the 1486th game of his career, he scores goal number 895 on Ilya Sorokin, who he has never scored on before. Hello? I can't hear you. I still cannot hear you. I do not know what is happening. This is going so well. It's like the Capitals after Ovi gets the goal. That game that went so. Hello?
Back?
You're back.
Okay.
I was like, it just turned pink, and I was like, all right.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Heard everything you said.
Okay. Yeah, I was just waffling about Ovechkin.
Yeah.
He scores against Ilya Sorokin, who he's never scored against. He does the belly flop celebration on the ice. I don't know, that was magical. And then he went there. He was with Nicholas Backstrom after the locker room. And if I keep talking about this, I'm going to start crying. So Alex, can you talk a little bit about it first?
Oh yeah, I like you did not think he was going to get the record this year. I even said that up to like 2 weeks ago, and it became very plausible that he could have done so. I figured it happens like first couple games of next season. Never doubt Alex Ovechkin.
No.
That's basically the lesson I've taken away from this. Just the moment you begin doubting his ability to score goals, you've made a mistake. But yeah, I think so. I was telling you about this before the show. I actually missed the goal live because in an immaculate feat of timing, I decided after waking up that at, the very reasonable time of 10 in the morning that I should go take a shower really quickly and I can come back and watch the rest of the game, and he won't score while I'm in the shower. That won't happen. It'll be a couple minutes. I step out of the shower, go over to the TV, and see him doing his little victory lap around the ice and a graphic in the bottom corner of the screen that says 895. So you're welcome, Alex Ovechkin, for letting you score this goal today.
Yeah, as we've established, Alex has reverse manifestation skills. Yeah, Ovechkin, he gets the 895. And I have an Ovechkin jersey. I got this jersey 3 years ago, I think. And that was when he was still quite a ways away from the scoring record, but it was like he's going to beat it, and I don't know. I think that's a good thing. He's the greatest goal scorer of the generation that I grew up with, especially because like people were always comparing him and Crosby, but like they're both very different skill sets at the same time. It's like comparing Austin Matthews' skill set to Connor McDavid. One's a goal scorer, one's a more robust player. Yeah, it's kind of been insane to have a journey with this. I had the Ovechkin goal tracker on Twitter notifications, like, for years. Because I was like, I want to know what number he's at, and then he gets the tying goal while I'm driving. Or no, I was either driving or I was walking like downtown, and I'm like, oh, well, damn, he tied the record. Yeah, Meanwhile, in college basketball blowouts, I don't watch that, so I mean, I watch college basketball, but the school I went to, which is in Division Two, and neither of them made the playoffs this year. So, um, yeah, it was not a good year for the Red Leafs. Anyway, um, Ovechkin, it was a good game for him, good year for him, assisted by Dylan Strome and um Tom Wilson. And it feels like I'm doing a eulogy to his career. He's not retired, but it kind of feels like the sun's setting here a bit.
Yeah, so you kind of alluded to the gee, I'm having a day. We kind of alluded to this earlier in the show when you were mentioning the contract year thing. I do think he's going to have another NHL season. I think he'll play out the contract, but like I don't I kind of doubt we're going to see Ovi in the NHL after that point. I think it's been reported that he wants to go play another year in the KHL. Like
Mm-hmm.
at his age, probably the sun is setting at the bare minimum.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to think about with that.
Yeah.
Like, and didn't Crosby also say like they he's also going to be not to like consistently bring the two back together, but that's been their entire career so far. Like, I'm pretty sure I might be wrong with this. I swear he said that this is going to be his last contract. Um, Yotes legend Dylan Strome. Dude, Erie Otters legend Dylan Strome. Um, I think I got that team right. I hope I got that team right. What team did McDavid play for in junior? That's all I know. Um, yeah. So with those two players that kind of defined a generation essentially. Um, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I personally think they're going to oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? They both agree to part ways. The thing that they both agree to, it's not unanimous. Is it unanimous? The Washington Capitals and Alex Ovechkin, they're going to part ways amicably.
Oh,
I think that's the word I was looking for.
yeah,
Like, I'm looking for like
it's a
the
word that
contract
applies.
word. Yeah, a word that applies to the situation.
Yeah.
And he's gonna play another 20 years in the K. That's what I think happens. He's gonna be the next like Yarmir Yager. Russian machine never breaks.
Like he's made the back half of his career off of just standing still and shooting.
Yep.
He can keep standing still and shooting over there. Like if the shot doesn't go,
Mm-hmm.
which it's Alex Ovechkin, it probably won't. Why not?
Yeah, and hey, he'll have a great other winger to play with in Andrei Kuzmenko. Anyway, um, Andrei Kuzmenko would have another defense, have another defenseman and Tony DeAngelo because there's no way that man's staying here. I
I miss Kuzi.
I don't. Anyway,
We'll discuss that later.
I told you I'm just a hater. Um, yeah, I cannot believe that Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin are retiring, which they aren't yet, but like they're going to.
They will be within the next like 3 to 5 years.
For Ovechkin, 3 to 5 months from the NHL at least.
I at one point figured Ovi's gonna score that goal and then not play another game in his life. He'd made like the quote about just instantly retiring. Obviously, he was joking, but I kind of figured he's gonna score the goal and just call it a career.
Mm-hmm.
And the Capitals decided to be insane this year, so now he's got a shot at a cup. In which case, I think he's gonna push for a cup. Of course, he is.
Yeah, which honestly, that would be the greatest story. And then he's going to Nikola Jokic it. Except he doesn't come back from home. That sounded darker than I meant it.
He's not coming back by choice. He's not being held there.
Yeah, no, he's yeah. I mean, Nikola Jokic, he's like if Ovechkin was Serbian and played basketball.
Nikola Jokic does not enjoy basketball. I'm convinced.
Fair.
He accidentally became important at work.
He should be working on a farm. He accidentally became important. Sorry, I just got that. Yeah. Also, the fact that Serbians are supposed to be tall and I got stuck being 5'7", I'm still angry about it. Yeah, Alexander Ovechkin, congratulations. Can't wait for your your Hockey Hall of Fame induction in 2083 when you finally retire. Anyway, moving on. Do you have chat? Put your questions in the chat. That's what it's for, and I'll tell you about some fun merch. I have no idea where my brain went. I hit the wrong thing. Okay. What better way to support something you love than by repping it on yourself? Game Over's apparel line is dropped with 3 unique lines. Whether you feel a nostalgic pull over our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, want to wear your love for the goalies proudly with our live and die by the goalie design, or if you just need another coffee and a toque to get through the winter, we have you covered. Designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. I think I just speed ran that. Like, I had a really stupid idea the other day. That was speed running, but the time calculator that you have to beat the game is the entire length of the Sound of Music movie. Which is
How long is The Sound of Music? I don't think I've actually seen it.
4 hours long. There's an intermission in the movie. Yeah. I've seen the play. It was not that long. Wait. Sound of Music movie length. Okay, I was over-exaggerating. It was 2 hours and 52 minutes, which is still quite a lot.
Long. That's a long movie.
For 1965. That was a
Yeah,
lot.
okay. By the standard, I was gonna compare it to, like, Oppenheimer or something, but that's, like...
Oh, yeah.
First of all, extremely different movies.
Well, they both have
Don't think I've
Nazis.
seen... Oh, okay, I haven't seen The Sound of Music, so I hadn't quite put that together, but yeah, that's true.
That's what it said.
It's like one of 3 things I know about it.
That's all the Jagmeet Singh thirst trap. The scene that he does it with. Do you not know what I'm talking? I just sound insane now. Okay, there's a clip from The Sound of Music where the main male character rips up a Nazi flag, and there were edits after a certain election, that and a certain inauguration that Evander Kane was present at. Let's remind everybody, for some reason, where people were taking a red piece of cloth and then ripping it, and then they would cut it to that scene. Anyway, Jagmeet Singh did it, and everyone called it the thirst trap. I don't have any other explanation. I think that's all you need to know about that. It was on my TikTok For You page. In the middle of, like, videos of dogs and also of, like, bottles of, like, sand and other stuff, like, falling down stairs and breaking. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Oh, yeah, I like those ones. Yeah, those are fun.
Those are so great. Columbus...
Dog content's good, too.
Sorry?
I appreciate dog content, too.
Dog content, yeah, it's great.
2/3 of the things you mentioned on the TikTok seem pretty enjoyable, and then there's the other one.
the thirst trap of the leader of the New Democratic Party of Canada.
Ow.
Yeah, I mean, at least it was before the election was called. How long was Endgame? Endgame was longer than The Sound of Music by 9 minutes. And you know what?
This is a Canucks show.
I would rather watch The Sound of Music than Avengers Endgame again. That movie sucked. I waited so many years for that. For Endgame. Endgame sucked.
Liked it.
Alright, everybody, have a great night.
I think it immediately fell apart after Endgame. It's just, I thought it was over.
I have a lot of thoughts about that movie. I really did not enjoy it. Anyway, have a great night, everybody. Thank you for watching. The Canucks lost to the Vegas Golden Knights 3-2. No trades were made during the stream, so another record for us. And yeah, you can find Alex through the Canucks Chronicles, our Canucks Chronicles on Instagram, and the Chroncast. You can find me, Kaja May, at Kaja Antic. There's not very many of us, so just search Kaja and you'll probably see it. Anyway, have a great night, everybody.